Today we're going to answer the biggest question on this entire boat, and it's hidden inside of these engines. A full service on Mercury 400R Verados can cost over $12,000. But that's not why I'm nervous. What we're about to find inside of these motors is going to tell us a lot about the boat's history. Today we're going to be servicing these motors. What that means is we're going to do everything on the top where the engine is, and we're going to do everything below where the gear is. Everything up top is going to be oil, fuel filter, spark plugs, coil packs. What we don't want to see in these motors is milky oil. That would mean that there's water inside of the engine. We don't want that. There's also a possibility that water can be in the lowers as well because they're separate if there was milky oil. We're going to go through every single one of these motors and see what we find. So all of these are coil packs, and we have to take them all out because the spark plugs are behind these. So I'll show you. These, you have a little connector right here, pop them off, you pull the whole entire coil pack out like that. You have a spark plug, you have your coil pack, and then you have it like this. It sits on it like that, and that's how it actually fires in the actual cylinder. So we're gonna be swapping out the spark plugs on all the motors. This is what you have to do to get all the coil packs unbolted. Then all you do is you take these plugs out on the side like this, and you pull your coil pack out like that. Pretty much all of these pop and go out like that. Now, if we were to have oil residue on something, that would be concerning. So that would be something that we would definitely look out for. But being that these things look really good, there's no water in any of them. You can see like all this is from corrosion of it kind of touching the block. So this right here is actually, I think, part of the way it grounds itself out, the coil pack itself. So we're gonna clean that up with a wire wheel. There is no water in any of them. I don't see any oil in any of them. So that's a good sign. But the real tell is like, once we pull them out, we'll see like what inside the cylinder actually looks like, because that's the inside of the engine, and there shouldn't be any oil and there shouldn't be any water or anything past those spark plugs where they go into the cylinders. Now I'm going to remove the spark plugs and see what it looks like behind them. First one. That one looks fine. That one doesn't have any oil residue. Where we're looking is this top section right here. That has no oil residue. There's some type of residue of something on the side on the threads, but that has to do with whatever they use to thread it in with, I'm guessing. But yeah, for the most part, that looks good. That's a perfect spark plug. So if this was burnt on this top section up here where it kind of angles like that, and then the little point that goes up, if those were burnt and all melted out, then that would be an issue. You want to crack these loose by hand the entire way. I was using the ratchet before, but we're gonna use a different impact, but crack them loose by hand just to make sure we're not like wrenching on them too hard. So this is the bottom one. You can see there's some residue on that section right there. But no, it looks good. Everything that's in the cylinder is this section up here, and it's all good. I mean, it just looks like it needs the service, but it's perfectly fine. Now I'll show you. This one is your old one, and you can tell it's all dark and everything, and looks like it's been used. So these are the ones we're gonna put back in. These are the ones that are gonna be running the motors and stuff like that. These technically, you could still run them, but they don't look like these ones over here. So we're gonna put these in and get the most power out of our motors. So now we're gonna put the spark plugs back in, all the fresh new ones. If you don't put anti-seize on these threads, they could get locked. And because it's a saltwater motor, and salt water goes through it and everything like that, they can get corroded to the block and pretty much be rusted into the actual cylinder head. A whole new pack comes in 4. We're gonna put them in, bud. if I don't plug in these connectors in the right spots, the actual engine will not run good. It'll run horrible. It'll cause it to misfire. So you gotta make sure that where the wires go, they need to go to every single one. Because yes, maybe this one might not reach, but this one definitely will try and reach to number 1. So you gotta make sure you plug them into the right connectors every single time. There's 6 connectors in total that you have to make sure you get connected, but there's 6 on one motor. You need to make sure you do this 4 times correctly or you'll mess up everything. All right, that's all done with the spark plugs and everything. So next thing we're gonna do is we are going to change the fuel filter right over here. So it's gonna be hard to show it. Oh.
What'd you do?
Just got gasoline all over me. We got gasoline, oh my God, all over the freaking camera. We got the fuel filter off right down there. There we go. There we go, there's our old one. There's our new one. Chloe's helping us. Thank you, Chloe. There's a direction the fuel is supposed to flow through. So whatever way is to the motor, this goes directly to the motor. Now we can double check it on another motor and see, but I know that it's good to go that way. So go put it on. All right, got the back on. There we go. That's done. Yeah, there's only one fuel filter per motor, so we only have to do that one on every single one of them. Then we have to get the oil filter off. That is this right here. So you gotta take that thing off right there. So have to crank it loose with some pliers and then replace it with this one right here. Got a new one right there. Take the old one off. Yeah, that's not coming off like that. How can we get this thing? It's so close to the stuff around it, you can't just get it to crank off. All right, a different wrench. All right, we got a different set of pliers. They're a little bit smaller. Try that one. No, it just doesn't, it does not want to grab onto it. I can't get it to grab on the backside. That's fun. We got these things. We got some big channel locks. We're gonna see if this will actually grab onto it. Oh, I made it too small. There we go. Oh no, it moved a little bit. Now the biggest part is you don't want to do this and puncture it and then there's oil all over your face.
You said it was okay standing there.
It's okay for you. All right, that is, oh gosh, am I tightening it? I am, oh my God, I'm tightening it. No. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now, hopefully it doesn't spill all over me. There we go. Not that much oil, so we're good. Oh yeah. All right, we got the new one. Comes pre-lubed up right here. Good to go. I just put her on there. right, she's on. Now, all we gotta do is get to the bottom of this thing, which is right here, and that is where the oil drains out of. So we have to take all the oil out of the motor, put it in a bucket, and then fill it back up with fresh water. All right, so we have to take the oil out of the lower section of the motor. The drain plug, I'm pretty sure, is on this side of it. There's one thing we don't want to see in there. We need to see what is behind that plug, and hopefully it is only oil. So, I remember. Okay, so I just took all this apart for absolutely no reason. And the drain on these Verados are right here. There's a bolt right here, there's a bolt right there that we just take it loose and then it drains straight into a bucket. Now, kind of make it just fall its way down. Already took the oil fill cap off the top. That's gonna allow the air to kind of help it kind of pull down without it being a vacuum. And then all go out into the bucket.
Are you estimating?
We're estimating on how far it's gonna fall. So it's either gonna get on this and roll off, or it's gonna go straight out and then into the bucket.
Or it's gonna ride the entire skeg all the way down
And go right there.
and miss the bucket.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna take a funnel, gonna hold the funnel here, like that. And it's gonna go into the funnel, into the bucket. Sounds like a plan, and it's really windy. Our main concern that we have is if we pull this bolt off of here and the bolt on the back side of it has water, or it's white, or it's gray, or it's brown, anything that looks like it has water contamination in it, so bad. That would mean that water got into the motor somehow from up top, and that would mean that there's water going through the entire motor. So this is the big moment we've been waiting for, to see if this thing actually has water inside the engine. If it has water inside of this, that means we have to rebuild the entire upper engine, because there's water through every single thing inside of it where it shouldn't be. So this is a big moment. I don't know how to do this. Oh, please go in the bucket.
Uh-oh. Well, it's going.
You could see inside of here, oh, we're making a mess already. So you can see inside of here, the oil is really black and everything. You can see, I just made a mess. But you can see, it is just black oil on my finger. It looks normal, actually feels fine. It's not like watered down, meaning they ran it for a long time. Everything's good, really happy. It doesn't have any water inside of it. There's no water in the engines, and we're very happy. That's amazing. We're gonna let it drain until it pretty much drips, and then we're gonna seal it back off with the drain bolt and make sure there's a seal on it, which there is. It didn't fall off, so the seal's still good. We'll probably swap it out for a new one, and then fill the engine back up with oil from up top, put the covers back on it, call it a day. This one's all done. And then redo all of this 3 times for all of these motors. So it's the same thing for all the motors that we're doing, all spark plugs, oil filters, fuel filters, and oil. Yeah, we just have to do all 3. So after all of this is done, now we'll have to get into the back hatch where all the batteries are, so that way these things can actually run, because right now they do not run. So I gotta put 7 liters of oil in this, which is 7.4 US quarts. This is 3.78 liters. I got these things. Well, I have a Harbor Freight Toolbox, the 72. I got end caps on both sides. The door opens, so we're gonna install those onto there, and then we'll go and finish. If you know Harbor Freight and you know these toolboxes and you know the end caps, you know how hard it is to get any of this stuff I just ran all the way up to Jensen, all the way down to Palm Beach because they had one of each of these in stock. And then to get that thing, it took me like 4 or 5 weeks. This is the final product of the Toolbox. We got the 2 end caps on it. It's absolutely massive. And I've had this one right here for about 2 years in my Sprinter van. We have this massive thing. I can fit everything I ever need in it. So I'm pretty stoked on that. Like it's pretty empty, literally empty. We have started filling up this side. So we got our battery chargers and other stuff inside of here, like the Autel and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's pretty already filled up for tools and everything like that. And today, I'd say we had the best outcome we could have asked for. We serviced all 4 of these motors. Everything looked great. Next, we're gonna try and splash this boat in the water. See you then.